episode of the Stitch with Love podcast. My name is Shannon, if you've not been here before. I am a knitter, a crocheter, a wannabe yarn dyer, so hopefully when I get my new place I can start looking at that. And I also want to dive into pattern design this year. So if any of that is something that you'd want to maybe learn about, or that's a passion that you share as well, or even if you're just interested, I'd love to have you here. I'm in a slightly different setup again. So I'm in the same place. I'm here till next Thursday, and then I'm gonna find. I was originally hoping I'd have a place sorted, but that's not happened. I mean, at the moment it hasn't happened, but we are running out of time, so I'm going to start having to look at another place. But I'm here till next Thursday, which means the next podcast will be somewhere else, but I'm just in a different corner, so I don't know why I didn't think of this last week. We actually have this chair in this corner here, and I've got the ranch slider there. There's a little bit of light coming through here, I'm afraid. Wait, can I close that? And then there's no glare. That's fantastic. Got lots of natural light coming through there, and it's actually a really awesome filming setup. I have my coffee. I feel like a real podcaster now. Coffee in my lap. Anyway, so this week again, and I feel like it's going to be a little bit like this until I get sorted. It's been a little bit funny. So I started work this week. And so, again, I wasn't really home much, and when I have been home, I've had to sort things out, or it's just kind of been, the amount of time I have spent looking at properties is probably insane. So, I do have a finished object though this week. Which I'm incredibly proud of. I've had this one for a while. I think on my Ravelry it says I started it in I didn't start in December. It's early January. Because I started it when we went on a road trip. Oh, it's getting hot in here now. Sorry, I just gotta take my cardigan off. It's getting really warm in this corner for some reason. I don't know why. But this, funny story, I finished this and I saw it and I was like, oh, how does this work? It looks weird. I had it upside down like the entire time. So, this, one, is huge. Two, I figured out the right way round. It's my Ada Shawl. Now, I'm trying to see if I can show this. There's the bottom of it. And it goes like this. Now these stripes are not, if you haven't seen much about it, they're not done purposely. This is all just, they are the angel cake yarn, so they're cakes, and so they just do it automatically, and it's actually come out really pretty. And so I haven't figured out how I'm going to wear it exactly. See if I can try it on. It's huge, and this is the biggest shawl I have ever made or owned, so I don't know quite. It's like a blanket. Like, I don't know how to do it, but like, but yeah, I'll have to figure out how to wear this, because as I said, it is very large. I've not ever worn a shawl this big, or made one this big. It's huge. But if you're new to the podcast, I've just moved to Palmy North, which I love. I love Palmy so much, but it does tend to get cold. Proof of that is we are still in summer. It is just gone the middle of January. It is now the 23rd of January. And last week, I woke up and it was, I think, 11 degrees outside, Celsius. But then it's also say, like, because of the wind, it will sometimes feel colder. and it will tell you the feel like temperature. The feel like temperature was 7 degrees Celsius in the middle of summer. So, and it's like today, the wind was so strong, I just came back from the laundromat because I don't have a washing machine here. So I just came back from the laundromat and almost got blown over by the wind. Palmy weather is very unpredictable, and that's something I learned last time I was here. Doesn't mean I love it any less. I love it just the same. I'm actually really happy to not be sweltering. It's actually really comfortable. I don't have the heat pump or the aircon on. It's actually really, really nice, and I can just sit in it, and I'm so happy. And then if I wanted to put a shawl or a cardigan on, I can actually go sit outside on the little patio out there and knit, and it's so nice. Anyway, so that was my finished object. I haven't had a finished object in a while. If you missed my episode last week, I would have had a finished object, which is the baby blanket, but I lost that yarn chicken. And the rest of my yarn, that type of yarn, is currently in Auckland with my husband, so I have to wait to finish that one. Works in progress. Oh, I've left one over there. I'll get that one later. I'll do these ones first, and then I'll get that one later. So this, I think it's going to be featured on the podcast for a little while. I'll be in my new house before this gets finished. Is the big white blanket. It doesn't really have a particular name. It's just named after the person, I guess, who I am making it for. There's my stitch marker. And so, yeah. So there's no pattern to this. I literally just looked at how long it needed to be, did some maths, cast it on, and I'm counting my rows, basically. And the edge, so at the edge and the bottom, so I'll see if I can get a bit closer. Grab the corner. Don't know what that is garter stitch. It's white, so it's really hard to see, but it's garter stitch, and then the middle bit is just stockinette. I can't remember how many stitches, but it's a lot. And it's taking a long time. I've done a little bit more on it than I did last week, but it's still not a lot. So that's where my stitch marker is. So it's more than I did last week, but it's not a lot. But we are working away at it. I'm on the next skein. So, just that. This is the Lamia Wool-Easy. And a whole lot of yarn bath, but I'll deal with that later. So that's that. I'm working on that. It's still got a long way to go. It's not even halfway done yet. And it's just one of those projects that is just going on forever, and I'm going to be so happy when it's done. I've made so many blankets in the last year. Like full-size blankets. And I've still got one to make for my husband and myself for our sofa for our new house, because we have a grey sofa, and so I wanted a bit of colour. So I've still got that to do. Yeah. This is my Mrs. Peacock Yarns bag, which is currently housing my flounce shawl by Truly Myrtle or Libby Johnson. And I can't remember where I was last week because I don't have a progress keeper on this one. But here we are. I love these colours. These are... I'll point them out to you. Excuse my broken nail. It broke while I was at work, and I just haven't got it fixed yet. This is... What is it? Blossom. This one here is Professor Plum from the Pluto collection. And this one here at the top... I'm filming on my phone, so I don't have like an autofocus or anything. Is Rose Tinted Memories. And they're all on an 80-10-10. So 80% merino, 10% nylon, 10% cashmere base. So yeah, these little stitch markers here I got when I ordered from Strawberry Patches. They're just little rings. It's very hard to see them. And I'm working on 3.75mm needles, and these are my Caspian, Knit Picks Caspian interchangeable set. I think it's the 120cm cable. Can't remember. I didn't write that down. So yeah, that's what I've got. It's definitely coming along, and it's really pretty, and I just love these colours together. So yeah, I'm working on that. That's kind of like my one that I take to work with me. So if I'm going to go on the bus, this is the one I work on. Oh, I thought I heard a bee. I don't hear a bee. No. And this just lives in here. And it goes in my work bag. Or, like, when I go to work. Otherwise, I just work on it. I started one today, and I've left it over there. So I will be back in a minute once I've got it. I thought I had myself organised, but apparently not. So this is the bag that used to house my Ada Shawl while it was a work in progress. And this is way too big, really. I mean, you can barely see the project in there. It's okay at the bottom. But it's the only one I had available, so. As I mentioned earlier, it gets cold here, and I did not think it was going to get cold this quickly. However, earlier this week it rained. You know, a lot of places rain, pretty standard, but it was cold. It was really cold. My hands were frozen, and I've never experienced that before in my life. I was like, what? Not like, I've experienced cold hands, but not in the middle of summer. So I was not prepared. So I decided to make some mittens, some Fingerless mitts. Now I'm using the leftovers from my Mooncat shawl, so I'm hoping that there's enough. Otherwise, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's a tui outside. It just flipped upside down. Sorry, distracted by birds. So I'm hoping it's enough. If it's not, I have to buy some more. But, I mean, I like thin yarn. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to put this down the floor. I like thin yarn. Don't get me wrong. But, crocheting with it? I feel like knitting with it I'm quite confident with, but crocheting with it is a whole different ballgame. Oh my gosh, this is all tangled. Sorry, hold on. So this is the leftover of the Strawberry Patches Serpentine colourway, and all of the other leftovers is all from the Strawberry Patches Pure 2. So yeah, and I'm gonna use, because I don't have as much of this left, I'm gonna use this as like the cuffs. And then yeah, I can't remember the name of the pattern. It's just called Fingerless gloves, I think, but I can't remember who it's by, so I have to put that in the description below, a link to the Ravelry page. But it uses a 3mm crochet hook. I can't remember the last time I crocheted with anything smaller than a 3.5. And so, I mean, look how small this is. And I mean, like, it'll fit well. Oh, it's stuck on my ring. But like, it'll fit well. And the pattern on it is really pretty. It's like a shell pattern. But it's probably gonna take me a long time. So I mean, this will either be a going to work project or a I'm sick of knitting, I want to crochet project. So yeah, there's that. I started that. There's not much to show at the moment. It's just a chain with like the beginning of the row. But that will be coming along. And I do have, again, not much to show you. Oops. In here is the beginnings. So this is the opposite. This is a big hook. Oh, bigger than what I'm used to. I'm used to using like a 3.5 to a 4mm, and this is a 5.5. 5.5? I think it's 5.5. Doesn't say on the hook. This is the beginnings of a noughts and crosses board. This is my own design. I haven't written it. I just kind of freestyled it, and I've made so many of them now. I've made them for a few of the Kelly clubs, and I'm making one for my new work. But it is not finished, and ideally I would like to take it in when I go back to work on Tuesday. Monday is bank holiday here, so I'm not working. So I might get a day off, which is nice. I get to stay home all day if I want. I went out today because, as I said, I had to go to laundromat. Tomorrow I've got church, so maybe Monday I'll just chill. But yeah, so ideally I want to take it in on Tuesday, so I might not be able to show you physically the finished object, but I'll try and remember. Ooh, slow down, Shannon. Oh my gosh. I need to slow down while I'm talking. But I will try and remember to take a photo so that I can put it in. Won't be this podcast, will be the next one. So yeah, those are all my works in progress at the moment. I am finishing them, or working on them, which is good. So I'm gonna move into a bit more of a chat a bit now. So talking about life and future knitting and stuff like that. So if you just wanted to see the yarn content, that is all for this week. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to hang around a little bit more, then we'll just chat for a bit. I've got my coffee. Oh, what's that saying? My Ravelry queue. I keep seeing stuff that I really want to make, and it's just never ending. And then that, I still also want to design my own patterns, and it's just like, what? So, and I've still got to work. I still have a job, so, as most people do. I mean, I'm actually very lucky in the sense of I'm in a position where I have quite a lot of time to knit. So my husband works full time, and I work part to full time, depending on when it is, and how long my shifts are on that day. So term time, I'm only part-time. I'm contracted for 20 hours a week, but most likely I'll have about 25. And holiday program can be anywhere between 25 to 40, depending on what's happening. I don't think I've ever had up to 40. When I worked at Samuel Bay, I would sometimes have up to 30, especially on a trip day. I've not had that here, but I don't know. It's also smaller than you, so, you know. And I do technically get paid a little bit more because I'm supervisor now, so, well, assistant supervisor, but I help supervise the holiday program. So I got a little bit of a pay raise, which is nice, and I'm very thankful for that. And then term time, I work split shifts. So I work an hour and a half in the morning. So say if I live a half-hour walk away from work, I'd be home by about 9 o'clock, and I won't have to leave again until about 2. So I have a lot of extra time on my hands, which is why I want to get into dyeing yarn. And I really want to try and work on the business this year, because a little bit of a, it's personal, but my husband and I have been together for, oh gosh, well, we've been married for 1.5 years. And when we first got married, we said that, you know, we won't push it too much. With us being younger, we don't really have to, time's not like a, you know, it's not like we are running out of time or anything. But we did say that after about 2 years, we potentially would want to start trying for our first kid. At this point, we do not have kids. I'm not pregnant. But we've been married for 1.5 years, so we're getting to that point where we might start trying. And I would like to still be able to bring some money in, while our children are still babies. But I also don't really want to have to be out a lot. And with my hours are quite weird when it comes to like finding daycare or childcare, especially for a baby. So I do want to try and build up the business a bit in like preparation for that, when that happens. And also just because it's something that I would want to do. So I do want to work on that this year. Pardon me. But yeah, I can't remember where I'm going with that now. But yeah, house hunting is difficult. I've been to various viewings, applied to various properties, not got anything yet, and I'm starting to feel like a bit on a time crunch, but I know it will work out. So yeah, we're in that at the moment. Oh, pardon me. When we like officially move, so when my husband moves and all our stuff comes down and all my yarn comes down, I do want to participate in, I think it's called a knit-along, no, not knit-along, knit-a-thon or something that our local yarn shop is doing, where they're trying to encourage knitters in the Manawatu area to knit as many squares as possible to make blankets for those who are in need in preparation for the winter months. And I want to make a whole bunch of those. So, because I have so much yarn, and quite frankly, I need to get rid of it. And some mindless knitting will actually be quite nice, so we'll see. But that's what I want to do when my yarn comes down, and I will give you some updates on that. I think this video is actually quite long. I can't. It's not too bad. I find my episodes are getting longer. I find I just chat more, I think. But I don't know. Anyway, I think that's it. I can't think of anything. Yeah. If you want to keep up with me on what I'm doing, what projects I'm doing, I'm going to try and post more regularly on Instagram. My Instagram is so it's all lowercase, @Shamarie2401. I'll put it in the description. My business Instagram, where I also post a lot of projects that I'm working on, is again all lowercase, at @StitchedLoveNZ. And if you want to follow me on Ravelry, my Ravelry, I think it was with the capital S, Shamarie2401. But I will put that all in the description anyway. I would love to chat with you guys. I know that this is still a very new podcast. But if you guys are watching, I'd love to hear what you're working on. I'd love to hear what you want to work on. Maybe what goals you have, knitting related or otherwise, for this year. Yeah, I'd really love to hear what you guys are up to. And I really do thank you for taking the time to click on this video and any of my other videos. At the end of this, I will, on the end screen, put a link to the playlist with all of the podcast episodes if you want to go check them out. Otherwise, I will see you next week. I hope you are all well. I hope you're all enjoying what you're doing. I hope you will take care, whether you're knitting, crocheting, or anything else. I hope you are finding some enjoyment in it and just taking some time out for yourself. I think that's really important. And yeah, I hope you're taking care of yourself, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.